Good afternoon and welcome to Mix TV. I'm Kadaria and I'm talking today with my colleague Victor Camilo. We have with us a special guest, Mr. George Esiri, one of the few journalists who's actually been spending time in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. Just came into Lagos this morning. Mr. Esiri, welcome.
Thank you.
You could start by giving us a general overview of what exactly is going on.
The crisis just now is in the Delta states, and the area is called Baramatu Kingdom, where they have so many, they have about 8 flow stations and oil wells, dotting the creeks all over the place.
And this is all of the run by all of the major multinationals?
More multinationals, Chevron, Shell, you just name them, they're all there. And just now, it's not safe to go in because the indigents, most of them now are living in the forests after the aerial bombardment by the Joint Military Task Force of the Nigerian military anyway.
Give us a sense of what the placements of these camps are like. Is it that these camps are situated with close proximity to villages where civilians reside? Could that explain the reason why they have become victims of this attack? Or are they a distance away where it is not possible for you to actually make a mistake?
The camps are not that close to where these people, human habitation just now.
It's clear that villages were just kind of attacked or were bombarded. Just for probably they are suspecting that some militants,
yes.
So they bombarded instead of
the hideout.
What do people feel in the communities about the militants?
There is fear all around the place. People will find it very hard just now to say, I'm supporting the militants.
Give us a sense of what the real cost of this recent offensive has been to the ordinary people of Delta State.
The cost is very huge because in the hotel where I was staying, there are people that lodge there, they stay in town, they're businessmen, and they come, they say, when they find out that we are journalists, say, hey, let me use this language they use in Warri. Hey, oh guy, they don't spoil business. Oh.
How different is this particular conflict from previous conflicts in the Niger Delta?
I have not seen where in this country where there's an attack on a community, aerial bombardment. Understand me? If this thing was supposed to be done in a civilized place, they will first drop leaflets for the civilian population to evacuate. There is a difference. This is like a war situation.
It was a surprise attack.
It was a surprise attack on everybody.
The Nigerian army and the Nigerian government refuses to give credibility to militants because they insist this thing is now no longer about self-determination,
but criminality.
And trying to get, the right things done by the Niger Delta, but that the course has been hijacked basically by thugs and thieves.
Tom Polo, the militant leader, who has been dubbed as a criminal just now, who's been wanted by,
whose camp was destroyed.
Camp 5 or destroyed, called the criminal. Tom Polo, from what I understand, have been able to calm down the criminality aspect of a militancy in the creeks, unlike River State and Bayelsa.
The government had even announced some sort of amnesty.
Yeah.
People, are supposed to turn in their guns and so progress was being made, and then overnight, the Nigerian army launches this attack. What do you think led to this?
When we spoke to Chief Alfred Pubo, he said,
who is he? Sorry.
Alfred Pubo is the spokesman for Baramatu Kingdom. He said they were having their festival. Suddenly they heard the sound of guns. Some soldiers were escorting a badge filled with oil, you know, and they heard, you know, gunshots. And the youths in the camp came rushing down and said, look at what happened. We've been attacked in the afternoon, not even at night, without any, and that has never happened before.
What you're saying now is, from your own understanding, is that the first shots were from the JTF?
That was what they told me.
What are the people saying to you, especially the leadership of the people in the Niger Delta? And I'm talking here both about the civilian leadership, as well as the militant leadership.
The elders are calling for ceasefire. People are really worried, you know, and they've been asking, they've been begging for this to calm down. But I've not heard anything from the militants. And
so people are saying that when you go to places like maybe Warri or Port Harcourt, you see some of these militants, they come to town, they are driving jeeps and all those things. Are these men or the people that you think have hijacked it as a money-making business?
I think it is the hoodlums, not the really people that I think that are fighting for the cause of the people of the Niger Delta. Because men, you don't know them by face, you know, but you know they exist, you know. So I see, you know, there been some crisis recently with men and the hoodlums. When they kidnap people, men will put out a statement, say, please, this is not done by men, and this we must make sure we get them.
Well, part of the criticism you hear when you talk to people who perhaps might not be from the Niger Delta, but even the occasional Niger Delta person, is that the little that has been done has actually been hijacked by the leadership of the Niger Delta.
It's sad, because for the revenue that have gone to a Delta state for the past 8 years, will have turned the creek to mini Dubai if it had been used properly. So at first, people were not even, the people there were not aware. They thought it is the government, is the federal government and the oil workers. But they found out that the elders in the community, their chiefs, are collecting money for projects that are not done. Instead, they go and marry wives, they go to town, start putting up structures.
So the ordinary man in the Niger Delta is really being shafted
by their
three different ways. Federal government,
state government,
multinationals, state government, and occasionally hooligans and militants. So there are about 4 different groups, everybody just taking advantage of them.
Advantage of them because they believe, you know, it's a good mind.
Do you see any end to this crisis soon?
Yes. When you push people to an edge, children now who hear the sound of gunfire and dance like music. If militancy continue, that time will be different, because in the creeks they have DSTV. They watch things that are happening in Iraq, in Pakistan and other places. And when they have lost their parents in this kind of crisis, what do you expect of them? So I see this thing, I see a light at the end of the tunnel. But if it doesn't happen in the next 10, I'm not saying tomorrow, I'm not saying 5 years. If it doesn't happen in the next 10 years.
And the foundation has to be laid presumably now.
Now, if it doesn't happen, Nigeria, not the Niger Delta, Nigeria will be worse for it, because the Niger Delta is the goose that lays the golden egg.
You've been watching Next TV. Thank you very much. My colleague Victor and I have been talking to veteran photographer Mr. George Esire, who's just come out of the Niger Delta.